Why, hello everybody, Lego Dude 11 here, and today is the official, yes, it's official, the Spider-Man Far From Home spoiler review. So, if you guys have not seen the movie yet, I know it's been a couple of weeks here that the movie's been out, but if you have not seen the movie, get away from this, because there's going to be spoilers ahead. So, let's talk about it. So, first up, Spider-Man gets upgraded. This is his stealth suit. This is his stealth suit of the movie. He goes to different places. We will get to the different places of this film. He gets upgraded. This is where he gets upgraded in Europe, and he goes to many places in Europe. But just basically, he goes to um, one of the places in Europe. He gets his upgraded stealth suit. Excuse me. Um, and then at the end, he gets multiple suits in this movie. He gets this suit. He wears his other suit from Homecoming and whatnot, and then he also has his new upgraded suit that he makes himself, which we see in just a couple of seconds here. Now, as I mentioned before, the costume design is amazing. The action, the soundtrack is unbelievable. Michael Giacchino does it. And here's the other suit, by the way. Now, here's the other suit that Peter makes himself. And they had an epic montage. Or not a montage. What's that word called? Kind of a montage, like a little tribute to Tony Stark, Vision, Black Widow, and Captain America in the right after the intro of the movie, like we're at Marvel Studios. So that was really cool to have a tribute to those characters that kind of died. Except Vision died in Infinity War, but Cap, Black Widow, and Iron Man died in Endgame. So not Cap didn't really die. He's just more old. But they don't know where Cap went. They just think he disappeared. So that was cool. So to see that little tribute there. Back to Spider-Man now. Back of our sad goodbyes with those characters. We do get a new villain here named Mysterio, which I was awesome. This was an awesome cameo, or not cameo. This was an awesome villain to be to see in this movie. He was played by Jake Gyllenhaal. And I have to say, he did a great, phenomenal job. He did a phenomenal job. Did really well with his acting. This is his unmasked version, and then in the next next slide, we do see the helmeted version, the version with his helmet on. Now, the one thing I do have to say about this character, many people in the film itself, and besides, like critics outside of that, we're saying like this looks like Iron Man, Thor, and Doctor Strange combined, because like people like this guy has like Doctor Strange, like as you can see like right now, these little like what is called like magic spells kind of look like Doctor Strange, kind of, am I right? But his suit kind of looks like Iron Man. And then, I don't know why people were thinking he looked like Thor, but, like, in the movie they said Iron Man and Thor, and then, like, his spells kind of look like Doctor Strange, so it's kind of like a mix of, like, Iron Man, Thor, and Doctor Strange. I don't know how it looks like Thor to begin with, but it almost reminds me of Iron Man and Thor, or Iron Man and Doctor Strange. So, that's what he kind of is supposed to represent, like, the next Iron Man. And then, the whole film is supposed to be, like, Peter taking on the responsibility of a new superhero, because Iron Man has died, and it was super cool to see that in this film. So next up we have the Elementals. So here is Magnum, Zephyr, Hydron, and Hellfire. So one thing I want to quickly tell you guys. So the Hellfire we see right here does not look like anything we see in the movie. The Hydron is the closest. No, Hydron and Magnum are the closest we see to these representations. The Zephyr is actually is similar to what we see in the film. Zephyr is wind, is supposed to be wind, and Hydron is like hydro for water. Hellfire, you can kind of pick up on that. Magnum is supposed to be earth. We see Magnum in the beginning of the film. We see Hydron in the film as well. We see Hellfire in the film. We kind of see Zephyr, but we don't know if we see. So here's Magnum up close, and then we see all of them up close later. But we don't know if we see Zephyr is kind of hard to tell because so this is the beginning of the film where where Maria Hill and Nick Fury are in, I forget where they're at. They're like this like little village, but I forget where specifically. In a little, I forget where specifically. They're like in a little town, but they are. What the heck? Oh, okay, that was really weird. They are. Yeah, and then Mysterio comes in and like tries to save the day. Like, you don't want to be a part of this, and then just like takes over and destroys Magnum. So that is that, and then you see later, much later, you see like when what's his face, Spider-Man, is in vacation in Venice. We see Hydro Man, which is part of the one Lego set that I have, the Hydro Man attack, and then which is really cool. And this scene was incredible. This was probably, I think Hydro Man was one of my favorites. Hydro Man and Molten Man are my two favorites of this film. But yeah, but going forward, this is like a great image of Hydro Man. It was just great to see the effects and the behind the scenes. I watched a scene of Tom Holland doing this. Tom Holland is great, by the way, acting as Spider-Man, and he like gets blasted backwards, and, like the water splashes him on the bridge in Venice. They're not actually in Venice, by the way, but I just wanted to let you know that that's kind of funny that happens. So next up we get Molten Man or Hellfire. So this is Molten Man, and this is not what we see in the film. This is like a Google image before the movie came out. And this isn't what it looks like. The next image actually shows what Molten Man looks like in the movie. But this is like a weird thin version of him. It looks skinny. I don't know what the heck this is. It looks really weird. I think this is supposed to be like the comic book design. Like what he looks like in the mythological state or mythological setting. But as far as I know, that's not what he looks like in the film. So he actually looks like, well, we're not even close to the next slide, but I just love the elementals, how they worked, because in the film, Mysterio was actually actually fake. So by the way, we will get the spoiler. We will get to the end credit scenes soon. But whoa, that's Dusty, man. That's Dusty right there. Dusty. Sorry about that. I'm talking about my computer desk. Whoa, gotta dust that. At any rate, the this is what Hydro Man or what Molten Man looks like in the film itself. So I think this is a lot better than the other thing. I don't know what the other thing looked like. It was like this skinny dude, skinny weirdo thingamajigger thingamablob. I don't know. But anyway, this is much better, and I love this. This is an epic fight scene. This is where we get the stealth suit Spider-Man. So this is where he where stealth suit Spider-Man was upgraded, and he gets upgraded to that suit and fights Molten Man with Mysterio. And Mysterio and Spider-Man were working with each other for a while until Spider-Man realizes he's evil and all that. So next up, we see Zephyr, which is actually in the end of the film was supposed to be a combination of Hellfire, Hydro Man, Magnum, and Wind. But to me, it was like the first time we'd ever seen Zephyr. So it was like, okay, it's kind of like a combination of Wind. So it was kind of like Zephyr with fire and whatnot. So then we see some of the other pictures of Spider-Man, the Spider-Man posters and whatnot. So And then these are the locations of where Spider-Man goes in the film. So here's London. This is the first place we see. This is London, and then we see Berlin, Prague, and Venice. So that's pretty cool. So this film did release in July. This film did release July 2nd. So it's still out in theaters. Go check it out now if you have not seen it. I just want to let you know you get your tickets now. Or even if you go to see the movie, you can go pick them up at the theater as well. So so the spoiler, or I keep saying the spoiler. I keep saying spoilers, guys. The end credit scenes were shocking to me. I did not realize that this was going to happen. So, spoilers here. The end credit scenes. We're going to talk about those. So, throughout this film, Spider-Man is trying to become a superhero by himself, not just like in Civil War and Infinity War. No, not Infinity War. Civil War and Homecoming. Spider-Man was trying to, or Tony Stark was trying to make him an Avenger, and he definitely was. He was making him an Avenger. That's what was happening in those films. Then, in Infinity War and Endgame, he is avenging with the Avengers and fighting alongside them with Thanos. Then, what you see at the end of the events of Endgame, where Tony dies, snaps his fingers, then he's gone. And then Spider-Man, or Peter Parker, I almost say Tom Holland. I'm like, it's not Tom Holland. What's his name? For crying out loud. Tom Holland, or no, Peter Parker is so sad, and then he's trying to live up to, like, people are like, are you going to be the next Iron Man? Like, and he's like, not ready for that. So the whole film is like him trying to be just the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, and he takes down, as he's fighting Mysterio, you know, he still takes down Mysterio, and I love Mysterio, by the way. He was a fantastic villain. And we see Spider-Man coming through, coping after Tony has died, and he also just wants to be with MJ, which I don't understand. Like, where is the other girl that he liked in Homecoming? Like, the Vulture's daughter? Because wouldn't she still be going to the school? Or, even though her dad's in jail, who is the Vulture, why is she not going to the school? I don't know why she wasn't in this film, but to begin with, but I got really confused about that. But regardless, I really liked Mysterio. One thing was cool was Mysterio was working with this guy who was in the first Iron Man film, the first film ever in the MCU. So that was cool to see him, the doctor, or the scientist, I should say. So anyway, that was cool to see him. And we also saw a flashback to Civil War, which was cool to see, when supposedly Jake Gyllenhaal slash Mysterio was in Civil War, but not really. Wasn't really in Civil War. He was just portraying himself to be in that movie. Is that the right word? Portraying himself, kind of making himself be in that film, but he wasn't really in Civil War. So here we go. This is Spider-Man, and then we also see Mysterio, and then Nick Fury and Zendaya, or MJ. And Nick Fury, and so this post-credit scenes now, end credit scenes. So Spider-Man gets his name revealed. So the only ones who know, Spider-Man, Aunt May, Ned, and MJ all know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. But at the end of the film, and J. Jonah Jameson from the first ever Tobey Maguire movies was in this film, which was cool to see. So they reveal Peter Parker's name to the public. So now Peter Parker has to deal with, or Spider-Man has to deal with himself, everybody knowing who he is in the next film. So that'd be cool. And also, Tony, what's his face? The Nick Fury and Maria Hill in this whole film were Skrulls. At the end, the post-credit scene at the end showed them that they were actually Talos and his wife. I forget his wife's name, but the Skrulls from Captain Marvel. They were the Skrulls the whole time. So now Nick Fury is actually in space with the Skrulls, and he's like, "Where are my shoes?" So so yeah, so they weren't actually the real characters. They weren't actually really Nick Fury and Maria Hill. So that was curious to see. I'm really curious to see how that turns things around in the next film. But I can't wait to see Black Widow, and then whatever's after that, because Black Widow will be an origin story, or not like a new film. So after I'll see Black Widow and then see what's after that. Have to see. We'll just have to wait and see what happens later. So thanks for watching. If you did enjoy this movie review, this spoiler review for Spider-Man: Far From Home, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Lego Dude 11, if you have not already. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Boba Fett Jedi Master. And if you haven't already, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, follow me, and until next time, don't forget to keep calm and play Lego. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me. Don't forget to keep calm, play Lego. Bye, guys.